breakthrough linear matrix compensation plan. You know, this is a plan that is the result of many years of experience with compensation plans in the industry and trying to remove some of the barriers that have prevented people from truly advancing and truly attaining the financial income levels that they have desired through network marketing. We feel like we have a plan that is finally going to reward people for the activities that they've been asked to do as distributors, which are simply to enroll and to teach other people to enroll in this business. As you can see from our slide here, this plan has removed all of the volume, the leg requirements, and the other things, as Clint likes to call gamesmanship, from the compensation structure, and really put something out here that is going to allow everyone who participates in Elur to benefit from this plan. As we move forward here in the plan, you know, you hear us say linear matrix, and a lot of people already have preconceived notions of what a matrix is, but this is not a traditional matrix. In most matrices, sometimes called force matrices, what you have is you have a series of people being placed in the organization, and they're forced into position, place by place by place, line by line by line, down through that organization. But the problem is, if you're placed and then another person's placed, eventually your matrix will get filled out, but their matrix has to be filled out, as does the other sideline matrices as well. And so what happens is, while you're waiting for their next level of their matrix to be filled out, you're not receiving any people in your matrix. And you don't get paid on those other lines of the matrix either. So even though it will take time and you can eventually get paid, it takes a lot longer, and there are many people in the company that you won't get paid on. So this is an inherent problem with that. And so your check is typically going to be smaller through that type of a compensation plan. Also, Unilevel is a very popular compensation plan today in the industry, but our plan is better than a Unilevel. Like a matrix, you're going to have sideline organizations within the Unilevel plan that you do not get paid on. A Unilevel does not force people into any position. It requires you to go out and enroll people who enroll people and fill out your legs. And typically you play a lot of games trying to balance your legs, making sure that you meet minimum volumes and so forth, meanwhile not getting paid on those sideline organizations as well. And so there are many people in the company who, in a way, are competing with you for recruits and competing with you for volume, as opposed to working together as a team to build out a total global team that everyone can participate in. The next type of compensation plan is a binary. And binaries have been out for quite a while. And inherently, binaries look easy because it says, hey, look, we only have to build 2 people, 2 legs, build it 2 by 2 by 2. The problem is your sponsor may put you in his left power leg, or he may put you in his right leg. Wherever he puts you, you're only receiving the benefit of the business that he builds in that leg. Likewise, you also have a left leg and a right leg. And the way binaries work is you don't get paid on your strong leg, you get paid on your weak leg. And so you can see that there's a great portion of the organization as well here that you do not get paid on, and it requires you to build out a weak leg and balance it against the strong leg in order to earn income. The next type of a compensation plan is a single line or straight line, and these are gaining some popularity in the industry today. The problem with these type of plans is, even though everyone, like our plan, gets placed under you in a linear fashion, you only actually get paid on the people that you enroll and they enroll. So it's as if your volume or your paycheck is only being generated through your enroller tree and not truly through all of the people and all of the volume that are being brought into the company. So it might look nice to have a whole bunch of volume under you, but if your checks are really small, does that really matter? What you want is a compensation plan where the people coming into the business are generating income for you and not just looking like you have a lot of people and a lot of volume. This is where the linear matrix breaks through these type of plans. The linear matrix works very differently. Even though it is a matrix, like what you saw in the first slide, this matrix allows you to earn sideline, downline, crossline, all across the organization, because each person that comes into the organization after you is placed within your 5x7 matrix. You can see here on the slide as you get paid downward from yourself, but you're also getting paid on those sideline organizations. And the way it works is our system will come to your position to calculate commissions, and it will simply look for the next 5 orders below you, the next 5 sequential orders of people who came in the business, and place them on your front line. And you get paid 5% for those people, or $25 at an average order of 100. Then it comes and looks for the next 25, and it'll go all the way through the qualified levels, whatever rank you're qualified to, and figure that out. Then it comes back to the next person. So the person who joined the business right after you and does the same thing, finds the next 5 for them, the next 25, the next 125, and so everyone is getting paid, or has the potential to get paid, on each person who came in the business after them and placed an order that month. As we look at this chart here, you can see that there's some pretty significant incomes to be earned on each level. Keep in mind, this is showing you earnings per level. You could earn up to $25 at a $100 minimum order on your first level, $75 on the second, $375 on the third, $1,875 on the fourth, and so on. And you see here a very large $546,000 plus check to be earned on the 7th level of your organization. Now, if we put all that together and take a look at what the cumulative income would be, it doesn't really change it a lot at the top because we're talking about smaller check levels there. But as you start moving up through levels 4, $2,350, level 5, $11,725 a month, level 6, $105,000 plus a month, and level 7, over $652,000 a month. Again, these are monthly incomes that you could be earning as this matrix fills out. And this is not just for the first person in the business. This is for everyone who joins the business and helps keep the ball rolling, keeps people coming in the business as we bring in hundreds of thousands, millions of distributors worldwide. Each of those will be placed under you if you're in today. If you're not in today, I would say get in today, because then they will go under you as well in this type of compensation structure. So great incomes to be earned with the Elur Linear Matrix compensation plan. And I think you can see the power of removing the barriers that kept people from earning sideline, crossline, and so forth. It also fosters a greater sense of teamwork because literally every person in the company is on your team. Every person wants to succeed. Every person will help you succeed. And so it's a great environment to work in as well. In addition to the linear matrix, we have a first order bonus compensation. The first order bonus works like this. When you enroll somebody in the business, you get paid 30% of their initial order. Your sponsor, next level up, would get paid 15% of that order, assuming that they are at $100 or 100 PV auto ship. And the third level would get paid 5% if they are at a 150 PV auto ship. So a total of 50% here. Now, one thing I want to point out on this part of the compensation plan is that the first order bonus also has dynamic compression like the linear matrix, meaning that when an order is placed, if the person directly above you is not active, does not have the right auto ship level, and is not eligible to receive the 15%, we roll that to the next person, and we go upline until we find someone qualified to earn that. So we're forcing the payout of the entire 50% on the first order bonus. A lot of plans out there that have first order or power start type bonuses do not offer compression in that part of their compensation plan, but Elur does. Also, in addition to the first order bonus and the linear matrix, we have a 10% matching bonus. And what this means is that each person you bring in the business, as they go out and start building their business, you can qualify for a 10% match on their income that they earn through the linear matrix. So an example of this would be if you enrolled Bob, and Bob goes out and builds a $2,000 check, then you would receive a $200 bonus added to your check in that same month. Now, if you had 10 Bobs, and each of those Bobs had a $2,000 check, and you were receiving $200 per person, you also would have $2,000 added to your check. And I think you get the idea that a 10% match on some of those income levels we talked about could be a very significant matching bonus as well. The last bonus in the compensation plan is a business builder bonus. The way this works is that we essentially double your match from 10 to 20% if you actively increase the number of people that you've personally enrolled by 2 people in any given month. So an example is if in the month of June you have 10 people that you've personally enrolled into Elur, and in the month of May you had 8 or less, so the increase is 2 or greater, we would double your matching bonus from 10 to 20%, again adding an extra 10%. There's some great income to be made with the Elur compensation model. Not only the potential great, but the opportunity for you to do it is great. We are at the very beginning. And in the linear forced matrix, as we are talking about here, those who come in early and adopt our philosophies and start sharing those with other people, they are going to be the people who stand to have these type of incomes the earliest and the quickest. And so we encourage you to go out, get to know this compensation plan. So we're very excited about the linear matrix. We're excited to be the first company to introduce it to the industry, and we're excited to see how this plays out as people go out and share the amazing Elur products and opportunities with other people. Again, I thank you for your time today, for listening and learning more about our compensation, and I look forward to catching up with you down the road.